tale that my friend recounted to me, a story that has haunted him ever since he set foot on the infamous Mountain of Whispering Shadows. It all began 2 years ago when my friend, eager for adventure, decided to take a weekend camping trip with a few buddies to this remote and mysterious peak. Known locally for its eerie legends, the mountain was said to be a dwelling for lost souls, their whispers carried by the ever-constant winds that whipped through the crags and trees. As they arrived at the base of the mountain, my friend felt excitement racing in his veins. They unrolled their sleeping bags by the tranquil lake nestled at the foot of the mountain, its still waters reflecting the towering pines surrounding them. Laughter filled the air as they roasted marshmallows and swapped stories around the campfire, oblivious to the legends that loomed over them. However, as twilight descended, an eerie stillness enveloped the camp. The chirping of crickets dulled, and the vibrant crackle of the fire was reduced to a soft hiss. My friend felt a shiver skitter down his spine, a sensation he couldn't quite shake off. That's when he first heard it, a soft, melodic whisper dancing through the air, tantalizing and elusive. Curiosity got the better of him. Ignoring the hesitant protests from his friends, he decided to venture into the woods, drawn by the haunting melody that seemed to beckon him deeper into the shadows. As he walked, the path twisted and turned, the trees arching overhead like guardians of a dark secret. The whispers grew louder, weaving around him like threads of enchantment. "Turn back, leave this place." The voices beckoned, but his fascination overpowered his intuition. Eventually he stumbled into a clearing bathed in moonlight. At its center stood ancient stones arranged in a circle covered in moss, their surfaces etched with intricate pattern. Feeling a magnetic pull, he stepped closer, mesmerized by the markings, but his heart raced as the atmosphere shifted. The air grew thick, heavy with an unearthly energy. Suddenly the whispers coalesced into a chorus, echoing through the clearing. "Join us! Come join us!" they called out, now full of urgency, threading through his mind. Figures emerged from the shadows, their forms indistinct but undeniable, spectral shapes that swayed and beckoned him forward. Panic surged within him. The realization that he was not merely an observer but an unwitting participant in something far beyond his understanding hit him hard. He stumbled backward, desperate to escape, but the shadows lunged, their cold tendrils reaching for him. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, he broke into a sprint, the mountain shaking beneath his feet. The whispers swelled into a cacophony of voices clamoring for his attention, desperate, sorrowful. "Stay with us. You are one of us." He fled through the darkened forest, branches clawing at his clothes as if trying to prevent his escape. At last he burst through the tree line and fell to the ground by the lakeside, gasping for breath. The whispers faded into the night, leaving only the sound of his racing heart and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. Though safe, my friend was forever changed. He could still feel the weight of the mountain upon him, the shadows lingering at the edge of his thoughts. He returned home, but the haunting whispers followed him, echoing in the silence of his room. To this day, when he meets new people, he shares his experience with a fervor, warning them of the Mountain of Whispering Shadows. His tale serves as both a cautionary reminder and an unsettling truth. Some places are not meant to be explored, and the whispers of the lost may never truly fade away. The next story I'd like to convey comes from my friend's harrowing experience with a notorious peak known as the Forgotten Summit. A place steeped in myth, the mountain was said to conceal unimaginable secrets that could be uncovered at a terrible cost. It was a warm summer day when my friend, a seasoned climber, decided to take on the challenge of reaching the summit. Eager to unravel the mysteries surrounding this fabled peak, he packed his gear, filled with anticipatory excitement about what lay ahead. As he drove closer to the mountain, he could feel a prickling of unease, but he brushed it off, attributing it to the mountain's infamous reputation. Setting off early in the morning, he began his hike with the sun shining brightly overhead. The trail seemed benign at first, offering picturesque views and the peaceful sounds of nature. However, as he climbed higher past the tree line into the rocky terrain, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The cheerful chirping of birds faded into an unsettling silence, and an unnatural chill filled the air. My friend tried to shake off the growing sense of dread. With every step, the path became more treacherous, winding through jagged rocks and steep cliffs. As he approached a fork in the trail, he felt a magnetic pull beckoning him toward the left path, which led steeply up into dark clouds swirling ominously above. Ignoring the trembling in his gut, he pressed onward. The fog thickened, wrapping around him like a shroud, and as he hiked, he began to hear faint laughter echoing through the mist, hollow and distorted. This unnerved him, but he continued up the mountain, thoughts racing about the adventure he would share later. After hours of grueling ascent, he finally reached the summit, where a breathtaking view awaited him. A valley stretched out below, cloaked in mist, and the clouds roiled above like a tempest. But as he unveiled the beauty of the landscape, his gaze fell upon a massive stone altar stood at the edge of the peak, ancient and imposing, its surface engraved with cryptic symbols compelled by a force he couldn't yet explain. My friend approached the altar, his hands trembling as he traced the intricate carvings. As soon as his fingertips brushed the stone, the ground shuddered violently. The whispers returned, echoing in the mountains as shadows slithered through the fog encircling him. "Release us, free us from this curse," the disembodied voices echoed, rising into a frenzied chorus that roared through the air. The shadows around him began to take form, appearing as distorted figures of lost souls trapped in torment, their eyes wide with pleading. Panic flooded his veins, and the instinct to flee gripped him like a vice. He turned, struggling to keep his footing on the rocky terrain as he sprinted back down the trail, the shadows chasing him, their whispers swelling into a terrifying crescendo. "You cannot escape, you belong to us now." Heart pounding, he darted through the swirling fog, racing against the growing shadows that clawed at his heels. Just when he thought he would be consumed by darkness, he burst through the tree line, collapsing in a clearing, gasping for breath. The stillness of the forest enveloped him. The whispers and shadows receded, but the weight of his experience lingered heavily in the air. Though he had escaped the mountain, he could never shake the feeling that he had left a piece of himself behind, forever bound to the forgotten summit. Haunted by the weight of the shadows, my friend often reflects on that fateful day. He shares his story as a cautionary tale, urging others to respect the mysteries of the mountains. To him, the forgotten summit remains an eternal reminder that some secrets are better left buried, and that the curse of the mountain is not easily shaken off.